And now on Newsfirst Explorers, which we premiered on Primetime News last night, we brought you details of our first colonists, the Portuguese, who made ports in the commercial hub of Sri Lanka, Colombo.
Now, in tonight's segment, we take you through the remnants of the fortress that the colonists built in Colombo.
Newsfirst Explorers, discovering Colombo's hidden secrets.
In November 1505, a fleet of caravels bearing the Portuguese royal flag made port in Colombo. One of the first things that a country does when it invades or colonizes another country is that it marks its presence there. Well, this is exactly what the Portuguese did as well when they landed in Sri Lanka. When Lorenzo de Almeida and his fellow men landed in Sri Lanka, they carved in their presence on this 20-ton rock. At the top here you see the Christian emblem, which symbolizes Christianity, which was dominant rule back in the Portuguese era. And just a few centimeters below that is the emblem of the Portuguese royalty. This section of rock, which currently stands in the premises of the Colombo harbour, used to be placed at Gordon's Garden in the President's house. After making their imperialist presence felt in the country, the Portuguese left the country. They returned to Colombo in 1517 aboard 17 caravels. Following their return, the Portuguese launched their colonization campaign from Colombo. Upon their arrival, the Portuguese immediately set about converting the trading post they had established in Colombo into a fully fledged fort comprising of 12 ramparts. The architect of this fort was Leopoldo Brito. These are the remnants of these ramparts today. The Riviera Canal, mentioned in Portuguese maps, which date back to 1656, flows even today. This street, which was then called Rio Directo, could be now described as one of the busiest streets in Colombo and is known as Main Street. Newsfirst team of explorers travelled along this street in search of the Biso gates, which were known as Porta Reina during that era. This gateway was later renamed Cayman's Gate. The belfry is still located here. Records suggest that this belfry was brought here from a church in Corte. Cayman's Gate also comprised of a drawbridge which bridged the banks of St. John's Canal and natural moats. It was named Cayman's Gate after the crocodiles which used to proliferate the waterway, scavenging off the leftovers dumped from the fort. Tomorrow, our explorers go in search of a hidden gateway in the fort.
Newsfirst Explorers, discovering Colombo's hidden secrets.
The opening of the newly renovated historic Adams Peak place of worship is scheduled to be declared open tomorrow. Now, a prayer ceremony has been organized in Nalatanya in lieu of this auspicious event.
Yes, we crossed over to Madhushka Balasuriya earlier in the day for an update on the preparations at the historic Adams Peak.
I am here in Nalatanya, where opposite the police station, which is to my left, hundreds of monks have gathered for a religious ceremony prior to their departure on a sacred pilgrimage. Now, the mountain itself is over 2.2 kilometers high, and that is where I, along with the rest of the Newsfirst crew, will be scaling tonight when we accompany these monks to the top of the mountain. And tomorrow morning, for the first time ever, you can join us as we broadcast the news live from the top of the mountain on our primetime sunrise bulletin at 7 a.m. But for now, I'm Madhushka Balasuriya for Newsfirst.
In business news tonight, the special commodities levy on imported potatoes has been increased by 15 rupees per kilogram effective midnight today. The special commodities levy on imported potatoes will thus increase from 10 rupees per kilogram to 25 rupees per kilogram. The decision is expected to cause an increase in the price of potatoes.
Now, in a communique announcing the amendment to the levy, the Ministry of Finance and Planning says that this decision was taken in order to protect local farmers.
And also an electronic prepaid card that has been used to travel on private buses was introduced today.
The National Transportation Commission stated that the bus owners and the passengers will greatly benefit by using this prepaid card.
The card was introduced today as a pilot project under the auspices of the Minister of Private Transportation Services, C.B. Ratnayaka. The National Transportation Commission says that they hope to make the card available to everyone within 3 months and that it can be used in around 23,000 buses that travel island-wide. In the future, the prepaid card can be purchased from buses and vendors that issue mobile recharge cards. A special feature of these cards is that they can be reused over and over again.
Well, tonight's You Report segment was filed by Shanta Thalgaspitia from Pulghavela.
An accident took place at around 7:20 a.m. in the Kapuara area in Alawa. The accident occurred when a bus travelling to Alawa from Kurunagala collided with a lorry. The bus was damaged and several passengers also sustained minor injuries.
And in some cricket news, Bangladesh opener Shamsur Rahman and Imrul Kais scored their maiden test centuries today on day 3 of their second test against Sri Lanka. In response to Sri Lanka's first innings, a total of 587 runs, Bangladesh posted 409 for the loss of 8 wickets at stumps on day 3.
Now, Bangladeshi opener Shamsur Rahman scored his maiden test century today, adding 106 runs to the Bangladeshi scorecard. Imrul Kais also reached his maiden test century today, scoring 16 fours and 2 sixers. Rahman and Kais put a damper on Sri Lanka's hopes of an easy win in the second test with an exemplary second wicket partnership of 231. However, Sri Lanka was able to pick up regular wickets after the fall of the 2 centurions. Arjun Mendis was the pick of the bowlers for Sri Lanka, bagging 4 wickets for 84 runs.
If you are capable of playing those kind of shots, you've got to be patient. Good round of applause from all.
And with that, we end today's edition of Primetime News. As always, it is a pleasure having with us for the Newsfirst team. I'm Shahan Jurangpati.
I'm Inusha Sekara, and we leave you with a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. Take care and good night.
Hotline 0114-896-896. www.newsfirst.lk. Feedback at newsfirst.lk.